Every belt's always a motivation. I like it, my cabinet's full now, but I'd have to get a new one to start, adding more straps to it.
This is Jonathan Agger, 5th Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Craig Spider Richards. Craig, we're here at the Matchroom HQ. How you doing?
I'm good, I'm good. Just enjoying the weather. I just finished training, came straight down. Now just enjoying some food, some good grilled chicken, salad. You know how it is.
So, obviously, we haven't seen you out in the ring for a while, obviously since that Buatsi fight. What's been going on?
Been a terrible year for me, to be honest. Injuries, etc. But I've been trying to push through them. Got back now, seeing light at the end of the tunnel, so now we're trying to set a date and get back to it now.
Was it difficult keeping the motivation when you're injured, or?
Yeah, first couple of days felt sorry for myself, and then I was just like, let's get back to it. Let's stay in the gym. Let's stay mentally there. Stay around the boys, stay with a positive energy, and just keep doing what I can do around the injuries, and that's what I did.
So obviously, I'm sure you want to get the ring rust off, or do you want to go straight into a big fight?
I don't mind going to a big fight. If that's not available and I have to get something just in the meantime, I'll do so, but preferably we're trying to get big fights. Now,
I spoke to Lyndon Arthur after his win the other day, and your name was brought up. I think Barry Jones said something about you fighting him, and Callum Smith said he liked the fight. Is that something that's been talked about?
Yeah, fight sounds good to me. That sounds good. He's a good name. I think he's a big name, and I think he's along the mix with all the big boys now. So I want to be in with the big boys. So if that fight presents itself, that would be great for me.
And obviously he's got the IBO title now. So is that like an extra motivation to fight him?
Yeah, every belt's always a motivation. I like it. My cabinet's full now, but I'd have to get a new one to start, adding more straps to it. But yeah, definitely. I love titles and I love title fights. So that's what I'm in the game for. Pushing on. I want to be world champion. So all them sort of fights,
Obviously, you've had some big fights in your career. Buatsi, which was a close fight. The Bivol fight was close. What's sort of the motivation for what's probably the last few years of your career?
Being world champion, obviously when I stepped up with Bivol, it was still the uncertainty of how good am I. I went out there, boxed for the British title, underdog, unbeaten fighter, went and stopped him, was on top of the world, feeling myself. And then the Bivol fight presented itself, and I was like, let's go. And I took a few too many rounds to download the data, maybe 6 rounds too long, pushed on from the 7th round onwards and finished strong, but just ran out of time. So I was like half a round and 1 round short still, and I kind of kicked myself a bit. So I just thought when I get back there, I can't afford to be doing that again.
How do you see the situation playing out? You've got Smith fighting Beterbiev. Are you looking at the winner of that?
I don't mind if that presents itself as well, 100%. I don't mind who it is, as long as there's something on the line. In them sort of fights, I'm up for it. So that's a good fight. I could see Smith maybe tipping it. I think stylistically it works, but Beterbiev, he's not a joke, so you can never write it off. But it's a good fight. I give them both a good chance to winning that.
And then another fight I'm sure you have your eye on, Buatsi and Dan Azeez, 2 men you know well. How does that fight play out?
Very good fight. We know how dangerous Buatsi can be. He's a dangerous fighter. Azeez has got momentum at the moment. He's been boxing consistently and regularly, so he's probably confident. So it'll be a good fight.
And then just on Conor Benn, we've seen him sort of call out Eubank again. How would you think that fight would go with him in Eubank?
I think Conor's quite dangerous in terms of his explosiveness. Eubank got a good win out last fight, but he also showed his vulnerabilities the fight before that, and I think if he shows that against Conor will make him pay.
And then, did you watch the Fury Ngannou press conference yesterday? And if so, what do you think?
I didn't. I saw little clips of a little tear up there, but I didn't see the actual press conference. Just saw a few clips on Instagram.
I mean, is that a fight that a lot of people have said it's a joke? It's just about the money. What's your view?
I'm not really that interested in it, to be fair, because you've got a guy who's world champion, been at the top of the sport, dominating for a while, against a guy who's never boxed. So it's kind of hard to really give the guy a chance. Like Fury's going to see everything coming and probably pick him apart. The guy might be able to punch, but he's not going to be able to land on someone like Fury, I don't believe.
If Ngannou does pull it off, is it the biggest upset of all time in boxing?
Yeah, 100%, and it'll make boxing look bad. One of our top guys getting beat by a guy who's never boxed, it won't look good.
I mean, if you were saying sort of yesterday he's not really interested in Usyk that much anymore, and he's just looking at these guys, and John Jones, he mentioned him. I mean, do you think he's fed up with just boxing normal guys, or?
I don't know with him. He says one thing, you know, he's like, but I think it has to happen. I think you can't not have a unified champ. I think whoever the champions are, they need to mix it up, and we need to see the unified champions. I think it's just it has to be. I think we need to see who the very best is. You know, Usyk's unbeaten. He's looking very good in certain fights. Maybe showed a few vulnerabilities in his last fight, but I just think we have to have the undisputed.
Final question. Bivol hasn't announced anything really yet. Are you going to speak to Eddie and say, look, I want the rematch, or because I'm sure you do want to run it back with him, and that's a big fight?
Yeah, as a fighter, you want to make sure that, you know, them sort of fights, you want to run back, you want to get it right, and you want to be world champion. So if that presented itself, I'd probably sign without even looking at the contract. Probably put a 12-figure clause in there, and I'll probably have signed.
But is that a realistic option for you, or do you think sort of you have to have a fight before someone like Bivol again?
Look, it just depends what presents itself. I don't know the business side of everything. I'm just a fighter. I just do my job. I just stay in the gym, and if they say to me, oh look, there's an opportunity to rise, now obviously I'll jump at it. If they say, look, you got to fight this guy to get that opportunity, then I'll have to do that. I don't know the business side of them. I've just got to kind of just hear how I can maneuver to get there, and I'm there.
We'll definitely see you back in the ring before the end of the year.
Yeah, 100%. I'll be out before the end of the year, definitely.
Brilliant. Craig, appreciate your time. Good to see you again, and hopefully join this big domestic mix of fighters, because we've got to see you back in there.
I'm itching to go. I've got to get back in there ASAP.